What up, people? Whoops. I didn't want to have that on. Cutoffs. Okay, let me get some sound set up. Alright, today we're going to be talking Alliance War, by the way. I want to mention that early for the people who happen to watch this on the playback. We're talking all about Alliance War. We just got hit with a new announcement for Alliance War today. I'm going to have some people on Skype to join the discussion. So, I'm going to get that set up. It's going to take me just a couple minutes here. We'll get a tweet out first. If you guys are watching this in the playback and kind of want to skip ahead, it's probably only going to take about 5 minutes to get people on Skype. I've already got a couple people lined up, so won't take too long at all. Let's go ahead and get out a tweet first, though. Dearest, at Marvel Champions, I noticed you are changing Alliance Wars, huh? Let's talk about that with... it sounds weird the way I'm saying this. Let's just do this. Let's talk about them Alliance War changes with a couple of friends. Winky face. P.S. I am now live. Alright, let's talk about the Alliance War changes with a couple of friends. Tweet. Okay. Poos on Poos sending over a toonie already. Dude, Poos on Poos, thank you very much. Saying RIP Alliance War. That's how you feel about Alliance War, eh? Okay. I can certainly understand some people not down for these changes. We're gonna hear from I'm gonna tell you guys my opinion on it all, but I want to get the people on Skype first before we do that, and then we're gonna talk all about it. All about it. Sorry, I had to just do a baby one that time. I don't know why, I just wanted to. Let's grind some Karina? Is that a girl? What is that? No, I'm just joking, winky face. Aha, okay, got it. But what's up, everybody? What up, what up, what up, what up? Who do we got in here? Alex Remigio, first one in here, followed by Arcade, followed by Ian Pinch. Xavier Thinks Blue. Is that right? Is that how you say your name? Open up Skype real quick. I got Lakers Bodyguard, Not Vask, Miguel. Let me scroll this down. We got Poos on Poos, Q-Bug. What's up, guys? Demiak, Dooley Ray. Let's talk about them Alliance War changes with a couple of friends. Winky face. Yes. I got my wife in here. Star, Aaron Abdu. We got Tara. What's up, Tara? Fitz. Haven't read the Alliance War changes yet. Now I'm worried. They're just a couple of changes, man. It's nothing to worry about. To be honest, I think they're good changes. It's just I want to get other people's perspectives on it as well. So yeah. If I'm only sharing my opinion, then people will be like, of course you think the changes are good because you Kabam paid you to say that or something like that, you know, which of course is not true. But alright, let me start up a call real quick. Let me just make sure. Alright. I'm gonna call up the old B Manny. Hear that super smooth voice. Actually, hang on, let me mute this, clear my throat real quick. Okay, alright, there we go. Alright. How do you make calls on Skype again? Here we go, this button, I think. It's ringing.
Hello?
Ho, what up, B Manny?
Hey, man.
What's going on, dude?
Nah, nothing. Doing good. How's it feel to be back on the West Coast?
Feels good, man. I mean, it was nice visiting the East Coast for a bit.
Did you get to see your family?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Stayed with my folks. So.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good time, dude. Oh man, I feel like you would have had a blast if you were there and getting to play in the tournament and stuff like that.
I would have had a wonderful time, and I would have come back, and I would have been finding a new place to live, seeing my kids on the weekends.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I totally understand. All right, we got to get Dreamin' on here somehow. I don't know if I've ever been on the call with Dreamin' before, actually. Dreamin', are you in the chat? I don't see him in the chat here. Well, we got Last Zarn here. What's up, Last Zarn? Hey, BG. Today, girlfriend's 7-year-old class did a school performance of Rent, but because of local tradition, they couldn't say AIDS, so instead, all the characters had diabetes. Ooh, that's pretty rough, man. Alright, Dreamin' says he's here. Alright. Oh, can you turn up B Manny just a tad? Let me get Dreamin' on first, and then I'll see if I could, like, how both of them are, and see, like, how I need to turn it up. So, yeah, let me do that. Send me your Skype. Yeah, wait, do you have Dreamin's info, B Manny?
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you want to just send it to me online, Dreamin', and then I'll add you? Send it over.
Did that change anything by chance? If I sound louder or quieter? I've got my Skype setting to automatic, and I turned that off, and I've got it all the way to 10. So I don't know if I was coming in light or not.
Don't sound any different to me. I don't know if it sounds different to these guys. B Manny is super quiet. BG too loud. Am I louder than normal? Oh, I might just be louder than normal for some reason because I see my audio bar thing just going crazy on me. So I can hear B Manny just fine, but BG is loud. All right, is this better? I hold on. Hang on. Is that any better for me? Wait, I might have just totally messed up my audio. I might be way less, like I might be too quiet now. Let me know how it is, guys. Too quiet? Oh, son of a... Hang on.
You push reset or something?
Yeah, so I have mine kind of cranked because people always say I'm too quiet. So
yeah.
It's like up 10 dBs at all time, and I just tried to lower it, and it just set it to 0 somehow.
Dude, that stuff drives me insane with YouTube. Like,
God, yeah.
I stream, like I listen to some of your streams like while I'm driving, so I have it plugged into my car stereo, you know, and you'll come on, or every once in a while there'll be that like advertisement that hits, and dude, the volume is like 10 times louder than your stream volume.
Yeah.
It's,
Yep. That's pretty nuts. Give me a sec here, guys. I just gotta... Oh, man. Alright, I think I found it. Hang on. Oh man, it takes so long to change these. What the heck? Alright. No, why does it do that? Alright, guys. This should be a little bit better. Go ahead and try talking now, B Manny.
Yeah. So I've gone ahead and I've pulled up the forum post as well, just to kind of. I read through it, but just for any reference we want to make.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, let us know, guys. Oh, Dreamin'. What's my Skype? Oh, jeez. Do I need you to start guessing names over here? Ooh, Super Dirty Pickle, send it over 20 bucks, dude. Thank you so much. Saying, this is filthy. A couple days ago, I purchased 2 feature GMCs, 5-star Emma. Damn, dude, nice. Earlier today, I decided on 3 more. Freaking duped her. What? At 5 total, you got her and awaken her. A few minutes later, I awoke in a pile of my own poo. May you all experience the luck of the pickle. Wait, what? Sorry, did you actually get it or not? Then I can't even tell. That's pretty awesome either way, man. Wait, Aaron Abdo. Okay, effing great. Stop messing with it. Okay, volume is perfect. Good for both. Okay. So it seems, all right. Seems we got that figured out. That's good.
Good, dude. I've gone through my phases with the FGMCs, and this guy here, Symbio Supreme, has me really intrigued. Although I don't have a gym, you know, and I'm like, well, I've got some grinded units, and then I get ready to go to that tab, and I'm like, let me go look at the Alliance feed real quick, and I see 3-star, 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 3-star. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like,
yeah,
I'm turned off now.
Yeah, dude. I've been kind of. Yeah, I've been kind of getting tempted a little bit here, and I'm normally not tempted, but like, oh man, dude, I just don't really want to do another one of those grinds, but I want the champion, you know, so it's like, well,
dude, I'm in the same boat. I was thinking to myself earlier today, like, I cannot, like, I don't have the time, I don't have the units to grind one of these new featured champs. I've only got one cosmic gem, so it had to be a double grind, so that's like totally out. You can spend on the features and get lucky, or you can just buy a bunch of 4-star shards and then be unit broke. Well, what I was thinking to myself was, how am I going to get these new champions, or how am I going to get these newer champions? Because even though some of the ones I do have I feel like are good and newer, they've been out quite a while now and aren't really, they're not the newest of the new.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Wait, Dreamin', send you a message on Skype. Let me know if that's you. Type your name, because sometimes I get other messages here too. Type your name before I add you. I think I got a message from you, but yeah, it's like you have the weirdest name. It's just a random string of numbers and letters. Okay, that's you. Wow. Worst name ever. I gotta say, like, what the heck, dude? But all right. Let's see if I could add you.
Demiok, save those 490 units, man. Don't do it.
All right, add people to the call.
Cade said he's good to go also, if you'd like.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can get Cade on here too. Let me just get Dreamin' with his ridiculous name. Where the heck did you go?
I can hear you scrolling.
Can you?
Like, what is going on?
Dude. God, this is such a pain. I wish I did this beforehand. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. We've almost got it all sorted. Wait, actually, Cade has Dreamin' and everything. Well, let me add Cade to the call first. Wait, WTF? It's just Dreamin' 34. It is not. That is not your Skype name. That is not your Skype name. All right.
Did you buy the in-flight Wi-Fi so you could grind arena on your coast-to-coast flight?
No, I was just trying to sleep as best I could. I got like no sleep beforehand. No wonder it's taking so long for a website. You can't even use Skype. Shut up, Mo Battle Chips.
Let me try to add him. I was so as you were doing that, I was like, watch, he's gonna ask, like, he's gonna add me so that I can add Dreamin' as you were struggling.
Dude.
Okay, I've got, I think it's the same, because I've got him here twice. Okay, let me add him. And it is just some random guy. Let's be welcoming. Let's be warm.
Like, his name's not even on the list for me here. The weird, random...
Yeah, I don't know. Because it does show up as just like the one that he wrote. I deleted that message, right? I was like, dude, don't put your name on in the chat.
Yeah, that's true. You probably shouldn't do that. Biff sent it over $2, saying, who rank 5 first as 5-star? Emma, Cap Infinity, Gulk, Medusa, or Magic? I would say anyone but Gulk. I wouldn't go with Gulk. The others are fine. But it really depends on what you need. I would say especially with this next update coming where female characters are going to be a little bit more powerful for a time being, maybe you want to go with Emma or Magic. But then again, they're not going to be super powerful forever, so... Cap Infinity... Or Medusa's female too, I can't believe I just did that, but... really any of those 4, Emma, Cap, Medusa, or Magic. If it were me, I feel like Emma is a great all-around champion, and yeah, I don't know, I would probably favor her, but it's really up to you. You gotta go with who you enjoy the most, I would say.
What's up?
Thank you for the $2, dude. Dreamin'?
I'm here.
All right. And it does say your crazy name in the call. Okay.
Did I think that it does that? Because I've got 2 of him, and they're both just like dreaming.
Huh.
I don't know. Skype, dude. Why do I have 2 of the exact same contact? And it shows one is like online and one isn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. It's very weird. All right, but we can finally start talking about Alliance War.
Yes.
16 minutes into the stream. All right.
Dude, we should have just gotten B-Manny in the server and then we just all hop in.
Yeah, probably. I thought it was going to be easier to do it this way, but
yeah.
I guess not. All right, let me pull up the forum post real quick here. We'll go over that just real quick, and then we'll talk basically.
Nice.
And then we'll talk.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm pimped.
So they're actually going to have these rotating buffs starting in a few days, right?
Yep.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
At least we'll get to try it before the season.
Yeah.
Is that another super chat? Super Dirty Pickle sending over another $5 saying Science Gem and 2 to 3 Science Rank Up Gem from 5.3. So pumped to pull 5-star Void in 2 years. There's some people on Skype that know about that. But dude, yeah, you're all set, man. You're good to go. As soon as you get them, at least you'll be ready.
I don't think anybody on Skype has Void.
Well, except for Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
One of the
a
guests.
shiny 99 550.
Yeah,
I got one of those too.
but hey, I mean, he still does work. He did well for me in lab.
I've got a 550 and a credit card bill.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, man.
Screw that guy.
Crazy.
I don't even need him.
When you pull him.
No, I'll be pissed because I gotta dupe him. So like, just give me MODOK, man. That's all I want.
The good news is we've got 2 Proximas on call.
Yeah, 2 big Proximas. Mine's Sig 120. She's beastly.
Dude.
Mine is 100.
She's not even in my top 5 anymore.
It hurts.
Nonsense.
It's just crazy.
Man, I'm not even kidding. Like I really still want Proxima. I wouldn't rank her up. I wouldn't use her in Alliance War.
Yeah.
But I still
Sounds
want her
amazing.
so bad, actually.
I have her. She's great at 125.
Yeah, she's pretty cool in like arena. That's it.
Yep.
I was waiting for part 2 of that.
Winter Soldier videos with her.
The true synergy for Corvus. But...
Honestly, if I get her, if I see like Green Goblin and I've got her on the team, I'm like, sweet. At least with my L1, I can heal block him, make it a little bit shorter fight. You know, if I get the parry mission, sometimes I'll try to get that one off, even in arena, just because I like to play champs the way that they're designed to be played. So I'm really familiar with them if I ever do need them in any circumstance. But otherwise, yeah, man. There's a couple things that could be done. We're not going to turn this into like how can we make Proxima good stream. But there are a couple of things I think that could be done to make her a little bit more viable. But otherwise, there's better options.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get into these changes here. So I'm not going to go over the entire post, but basically, guys, Kabam is trying to keep Alliance Wars feeling more fresh and dynamic, and they're adding some global nodes. And eventually, we're going to be able to pick the nodes that our defenders get. At least I don't know what the plan is for attack, but we're going to be able to pick the nodes that our defenders get. This way, you know, we could pick whatever we want, whatever we feel is best to kind of throw off our opponents, which sounds pretty fun. But for right now, they're starting with just one buff for attack and one buff for defense for the entire season. That's all it's going to be. The buff that we get for attack is for female champions. They're going to get increased class bonuses, and half of the attack bonus is always applied. They say specific tuning values will be revealed soon. I don't know if that just means like if they're going to get something else in addition to like their regular stats for a bonus, or if they're just going to get like, you know, just additional stats or whatever. I imagine it's just additional stats, but the wording here is not doesn't say exactly.
I think it's just how much that increased class bonus will be, like instead of plus whatever 20% or what is it right now?
Right. Yeah. It's 20%. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. It'll just be a higher number.
Yeah. And then our defenders, all defenders are going to be bleed immune. So that's pretty much it. Like that's kind of a big deal for some people. You could tell that these things. It's pretty clear what they're targeting. Like for the buff, the female champions, the most common, the top 3 most common, not necessarily the best, but the most common attacking champions, they're all male. It's, you know, Blade, Stark Spidey, and Corvus. Not necessarily in that order, but like those are the 3 most common. And then so yeah, they want some more females on attack, and then. Of course, with the bleed immunity, I mean Blade, you know. Other champions apply bleeds as well, and they're getting caught in Blade's wake here a bit. But they want to stop people from using Blade for at least a season, you know. So yeah, and real quick before we start talking more about that, Chris sent it over 229 euros saying, "Hey man, hope you're good, dude." I am good, man. Thank you very much for the 229 euros. I appreciate that. All right, so what do you guys think about these changes?
Cade, what do you think?
I'm liking it. I'm digging it. I was just like I was saying in chat earlier. I'm starting to realize how sexist my rank ups have been. But otherwise, no, it's good. It's funny when it first came out. I was like, man, I have no female champs up, and then I was like, oh wait, Morningstar. But
is she considered female? Is that like in her bio?
She would have to be. Yeah, I mean, there's only male and female champs in here, and she's like dead technically, but yeah, she is.
Sentinel is considered a male champ, right? It's just a robot.
Would have
well,
to.
You've seen his package, though. I mean.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like there's a whole market for like fan fiction there for Sentinel. And Morningstar fan fiction, but yeah, no, I think it's a good change. I don't use my blade for too much, so I'm not really worried about the like bleed immunity stuff. But I was starting to kind of think about, well, what female champs do we have that you know, would work to clear with, and I guess Domino's an interesting kind of cross, because obviously the bleed immunity kind of, you know. She suffers a little bit with that, not too much, I guess, if you have the Rolk's energy and you're going to incinerate and stuff. But she's the female champ, so she's getting the bonus for that. The otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I think
Magic,
yeah, Magic's going to be great. Who else? Gwenpool? Do you think Gwenpool? Someone said Poos on Poos, but you don't have any bleeds.
Yeah, I think Gwenpool is going to be a little bit weaker overall. Kind of hard to say, but there's a bunch of other females. I think Emma Frost is going to be a big one for people who have her. Same thing for Ghost. I think Ghost is going to be destroying. I know you guys, Cade and Dreamin, are going to be using your Morning Stars probably still, right?
Yeah, one of us usually, but it's just if it's, you know, like I mean, you scout and see, because she's obviously terrible when you're setting her up. But
relax, she's not terrible.
A nice bone.
You think we're gonna see more Quakes out there?
I guess if you're scouting well, right? I mean,
how about Angela?
You think so?
You think so with the buffs? Because I was thinking the same for X23,
well,
but the buff.
Angela, if you've got 3 Furies and like class advantage or something, I mean, I've got the 355, but I also have a 6-star. So like the 6-star, for instance, I mean, a medium crit can be 6-7K, and maybe even a little higher, boosted with like a global buff like that as well. So she could put in some pretty good work.
I was talking to the devs about that. I was like, can we get some sort of indicator for how strong Furies are? Because like Angela's like destroys worlds, and then Groot's got like 19, and he's for nothing.
Yeah.
Mo Battle Tips at Psylocke. Yeah.
Psylocke, yeah.
Fun.
Angela's good.
But then too. If you're comfortable with the health pool, you know.
Yeah, I don't have her, but I saw Taters wreck that Iron Man unboosted, so
it's great.
That was good. You know, I read through this whole thing kind of quickly. Wanted to go back through it. Is Nebula? She's a robot. Is that considered female? I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, people might use her because the thing is, people are still going to be using like Corvus and Stark Spidey and stuff like that. And they do have that synergy with that team of Corvus, Proxima, and Nebula is like pretty powerful, right?
Yep.
True. Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see that. Game volume down a bit for the convo part. Oh, all right? I'll turn the volume down a bit.
I think after, like I said, after reading through all this, as soon as I read Bleed Immune, it was like, yeah, okay, Blade. Like they want, because I read the, you know, what preceded that, which is talking about like the meta and how they saw that only specific champs were used and that kind of thing. So while I do think I mean, I'm not going to call it a nerf because it's not permanent. It's just they said they're going to do it for this season. It'll be rotating. But it's definitely a little bit of a toning down of what Blade can do. But however, they're still going to be dimensional beings. They're still going to be villains. He's still going to get 6-7K crits without bleeding anybody. You know, so and his damage is still going to be there.
Works to his advantage on some of the cornered nodes because you don't have to play it quite as carefully.
Oh yeah, you can get your parries off. If it's got masochism, it's a little bit trickier, but yeah, you can use your specials. So I mean, a special 2. Let's say you wanted to take Blade against Killmonger on the 29 masochism node. Well, you wouldn't use any specials because it would just fuel his power so much. But now, if you can use him to actually let off an L2 that's going to do probably 20 to 25K damage boosted, and not have to worry about his power just like shooting to SP3 immediately, you're actually in pretty good shape. And plus, if you can pull that SP2 off whenever, like, let's say you don't parry first, let's say you intercept with the special 2, then you're not going to trigger masochism at all. So he might become a viable. It's actually making him viable for a few nodes where he wasn't good before.
Funny if this change makes him even more viable for that node.
It's like, okay, now everybody brings, like, shit. I don't even bring Blade. You know, I use him in AQ just so that all the rest of our guys can have theirs available for Alliance War. But on the flip side of that, with what they're doing with the female champions, which is cool, is giving you more options that like, yeah, I've got Blade, he would do this fight, but now it's like, well, I've got Magic, or I've got Quake, or Morningstar, or Medusa, whoever it might be. They might be able to do it just as well, if not a little bit better, because they are getting a boost.
Sure.
And I think that plays into who wrote this. Let me go up. Is it Van Mike? Yeah. Okay.
The announcement initially.
Well, I don't know if he wrote it, but he posted it anyway.
Yeah.
It goes back to what he said about. Where is it? Anyway, about people with larger rosters being able to utilize the breadth of the champions that we have, because we've all got. I mean, I've got 85 stars, and I use 7.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so if he could give me the option to use these champs in an effective way, I think that is very intriguing, and it gives people that have the Magics that have sat on the back burner, had Quakes that they didn't rank up, an option to basically to use them in a meaningful way, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like this, because I just, like, all of us were expecting hard Corvus counters. We're like, well, we're going to see Rage and Prove Yourself, and like things
Safeguard, yeah, right.
Yeah,
they can't put Safeguard though, because then it's going to take 100 hits.
Yeah, of course not.
Well, I mean, there's counters to it though. You got to bust out crossbones and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, the one guy that has him at rank 5.
Yeah.
Well, when I saw that, immediately my Sentinel boner went like through the roof a little bit more, because I was like, bleed immune, that's cool. He's got Incinerate. Like, the only person that I can't hit with that is Mephisto, which I wouldn't use him against Mephisto anyway, and Iceman. Is that it?
And like Void and
okay, Void, which you'd probably still use Blade, even though you can't bleed him. It don't matter.
Yeah.
He'd still crush like Iceman and stuff like that though. He's got the class advantage. You just hit him like the L1s instead or something. You could spam that over and over, getting that infinite loop of him throwing specials, getting easy openings.
Yep.
Yeah.
One thing I love about Sentinel, he doesn't have, like, he's a large character model, but he doesn't have that huge dash back like Red Hulk does. So it's really, really easy to bait specials.
Yeah, dude, that's one of the things about the most out of big character. Like, until I got my 6-star Red Hulk, I never noticed just how outside the hitbox you move when you deep evade with them.
I feel like it just changed a little bit with this latest update, because I've been running Red Hulk quite a bit, and I never had much of an issue. And then all of a sudden, I found myself not being able to bait specials. And I was like, why not? And dude, you see how far he jumps away. The AI just looks at you like, I gotta jog over there before I throw a special. It's like, dang, dude. So
I think there's something else about them adding bleed immunity here that's actually going to be really good for the bleed characters, like not this season, but in future seasons. Like, if we look at all of the more recent characters that have come out, they all have some kind of counter to bleed. And I think it's because of, it has to be because of Blade, right? Like, everybody ranked up Blade, so of course they want to try to find a way to naturally shift people away from using Blade, but people just didn't care and used him anyway. But I think it started with Domino, where she gained like a bonus when she's someone calls it her bleed. Omega Red, same thing, and there's a bunch of bleed immunes with Korg, Infinity Man with the armor ups, Emma Frost with her diamond skin thing or whatever it is. So like, all these characters, they were introducing them as bleed counters already, but if Kabam can just turn it into this temporary node, then they could stop giving every single new character some type of anti-bleed effect.
Sure.
And then over time, like Blade will come back and be even stronger, and so will the other bleed champions and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think to that point, what it's doing is, and it's kind of as they've stated here, they've got like a rotating meta, essentially, is what it boils down to. They call it a rotating global buff, but it's almost like a rotating meta where they want to change it, but maybe not permanently, let's say, like what is effective right now, the Trinity, or you know, at least Blade with Ghost Rider or something, Blade's Dark, that maybe make it a little bit less effective than other options for a period of time, but then be able to kind of swing back to that and have it rotate as they'll do their buffs every season.
Yeah. Yeah,
so like it's looking like Magic and female champs, you know, Quake, Morningstar, they're gonna be a little bit better. Now people are still gonna ignore that and bring, you know, they're gonna bring Blade and the same people they've been, but they might make it to where like the attack bonus that they do get is too much to ignore, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know it'll be 100%. I mean, like, yeah, we're gonna double it. Like, I feel like it's
probably gonna be 20%, right? That's my guess.
Like
probably.
An additional. Okay, so they've got 20. They'll want another 20.
They'll double the class advantage from 20 to 40, and then since you get an extra half, that'll probably be 20. It'll be like having class advantage every fight, basically.
How about this too? What if they added, like, the female champions could also regen a certain percentage based on their special attack damage?
Yeah, that's what I mean too. Is like if they start
Morningstar.
if they start just adding abilities like that.
Well, yeah, because if my Magic could heal, let's say 10% of her damage, well, some of her specials can do 15 to 20k, and I can spam that almost on certain fights. It gives them sustainability, you know, and that's one of the things about Blade that people, you know, they might not use it as much because I think a lot of Alliance War stuff is just in the fight as fast as possible. It's not about sustainability and all that, you know, so you're not like halfway through a fight like I'm gonna heal back up to 71%, you know, because we all know the mistakes happen when you go trying to just hold block.
It's a good way to die.
Yeah, exactly. So give them other abilities. So it's really intriguing. I was actually surprised that this post was as long as it was. Whenever they mentioned it a couple days ago, they said, hey, by the end of the week, you know, we're delaying seasons, or we're making it 3 weeks instead of 2, and we got an announcement for you. There was a lot of information in this post, and of course this is just pertaining to season 5. Like, man, Alliance Wars in the grand scheme of things, which I know it burned a lot of people out like really fast, is still in its infancy to a huge extent. I mean, can you imagine what season 30 is going to look like? So you got to think long term on this. Yeah, they're trying new things too, to try to probably to try to keep people engaged and to keep the burnout hopefully a little bit lower. But I don't know if that's possible or not.
Yeah,
it might go on to their issue too, the unfair alliance, unfair play.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be more fun overall, and I think people are still gonna get burned out, but you know, maybe instead of quitting completely, maybe they'll just be like, okay, you know, let me step down for a little bit, and then I'll come back because it is fun, you know.
I think the thing that's interesting, and I'd missed it until you said it, but the fact that we're going to get to pick our own global defensive buff, you know?
Yeah, that's when it's going to get really fun.
A ton of strategy to placement, and I think that's going to diversify things more than anything they've done so far.
Yes.
That's going to be probably a year from now, I bet, at least.
Could be.
I don't know about that. I hope not. I really hope not. Like, all right, so.
Well, how long is the season, right? Like, a season's 4 weeks plus 2 weeks downtime, so that's 6 weeks. They want to probably run through at least a handful of the different types of nodes to see what's effective and what's not effective. So then you're up to 30 weeks. That's close to 7 months. Then they've got to do testing and other stuff. I mean, you know, it's kabam, dude. I'd say it's a minimum 6 months away, minimum, for us to be able to choose what buffs or global, you know, global buffs or defensive buffs our guys get in the long, you know, in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like you said, it's kabam. Sometimes they're not the fastest when it comes to this stuff, but like, that's my least favorite part about all of this, is just that it is in kabam's control. Because, like, if you see bleed immunity for next season, and you know a lot of people are thinking my bleed champions just got nerfed. And I mean, we've only been talking about Blade for the most part, but you know, it hurts the other champions more. What about people who are using Killmonger to fight Medusa bosses, or Gwenpool to fight Medusa bosses, or just whoever? Venom.
Yeah.
Venom just got buffed. Like, I was thinking it'd be cool if we saw some Venom videos, but
Wow, now nobody's gonna use Venom or
Yeah.
Carnage.
dude, like it really hurts those champions a lot more. We might still see some, because honestly, Venom, you know, he's good against like Spider-Man. So if you see a Spider-Man mini or something like that, or Infinity Man, but still, like it definitely hurts those champions a lot more, and it just feels like a nerf when it's coming from Kabam, even though it's only temporary, even though it's only for this season. But you put that in the hands of the players, and you give them some options of like, okay, now you have like 5 global nodes to choose from for each war. What do you want to pick? And if somebody said, okay, we're locking out your ability to use bleed characters, all of our defenders are going to be bleed immune, it doesn't feel like a nerf, it just feels like a strategic option to go with that. So I wish that that's how they were starting. And for those of you who didn't like go through this and read it, every little detail, they basically said that they wanted to start this season off slow. They're saying they're starting off season 5 slow. Let me pull it open actually. So they very deliberately say we start off season 5 a little slow. By the way, too, for those of you again who didn't read this is only for challenger and expert tiers. So if you're in a lower tier, don't freak out. This doesn't even affect you at all one bit. But for season 5, they're starting off slow, and then they also go on to say that this is only version 1 as a test bed. So yeah, it's not going to stay like that, and it is going to get much more customizable, and it is going to be a lot more strategy based than anything. And like in the higher tiers, you could pretty much know who you're playing against thanks to like the plus minus win-loss calculator things, and just talking to other alliances and stuff. So like you might be able to see who you're going up against, scout that they have, you know, 30 Corvus on their roster, and do something to counter them or something like that. So yeah, I think it's gonna get really good soon. It's just this first season, like I still think it's good, but it's just not quite as good as it could be.
I wonder how far they're going to go with these globals too, because obviously you're not going to have like a global brawl node or something, right? So
maybe
Oh,
you could run. I mean,
global dual node.
yeah.
That would be great.
I wonder what's going to be included and what isn't.
I was thinking actually like different. If they did it by section a little bit instead of completely a global,
Oh, okay.
like that would be a lot cooler, you know.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Or, well, I was gonna say or a path one, but that could be tough. That could be tough to pick a roster for if you had a global node on your path and they diversify that path, so you know 3 champions can't really cover it all.
Yeah. Wait, what is last Siren saying here? Hey BG, a solicitor called, so I handed the phone to the 7-year-old and told him this nice lady wants to hear every last detail about his stupid Minecraft village. Dude, I bet she enjoyed that a lot.
It sounds like entertainment to me.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Brian, when will you be taking Gwenpool to war? Not next season. Know that much.
Well, you did the analysis, right, on what percentage of her damage comes from bleeds?
I did, yeah.
What was the number? Do you remember?
It was about 20%.
So she's basically going to be the same.
Well,
She
I don't
has
know.
incinerate, which
Her incinerate sucks.
The thing
Yeah, I
is, it like extends her abilities too, though.
That's
you know,
true.
and it applies the stuns, so makes fights a little bit safer. And if you're going up against like an armor node, yeah, that bleed's gonna help a lot more.
Yeah, that's true.
Sean sent over $2 saying, "Do you think they will drop it below tier 5 ever?" They did say that in the future, after they kind of test things out with the higher tiers, they will evaluate broadening the range of summoners that will experience these buffs. So it's possible.
Yeah, they mentioned that the guys at the higher tiers would have more of a roster to be able to kind of have counters for some of the things that'll be introduced.
Yeah. I kind of the other problem I have with this too is they talk about their goals here, which I think they're great goals. Let me pull that open again too. They say they have these pillars, these pillar goals. 1, to keep Alliance Wars dynamic. 2, to encourage counterplay, and 3, to keep the mode flexible. And I think eventually that is how things are going to look. Yeah, and they talk about like wanting people to look at the rosters more, stuff like that. But for this first round, I'm not looking at my roster anymore. I'm going to use the exact same champions. I'm going to use Void and Stark Spidey. There's nothing that's going to change that. For a lot of people, you know, the people who are already using female champions, they're going to have a blast with this, but it's not going to...
I'm looking forward to it with Morningstar and Ghost at rank 5.
I bet. Did you... you didn't already take Ghost to rank 5, did you?
No, I didn't have enough tier 2 alpha, but I think I'm like 1 alpha short, so it'll be like at the end of AQ, I think.
I think they also probably wanted to, like, this bleed immune one. I mean, it affects some champs, it certainly does, but the way the meta had like moved away from Blade so much, at least at the high tiers, we only really get to see our tier, but I think they probably wanted to intro the concept with something that wasn't gonna like mess people up too much, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly. They just wanted to ease people into it.
They're like debuff immune across the whole map, and people
you can still use Blade.
Yep.
He's just not gonna be as good, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there is like that biohazard node. People take Blade for that fight, and that node already has bleed immunity on it, and there's a couple of other bleed immune nodes in there already that people still use them. So
yeah.
All right, I got to read a couple of super chats. Actually, Chris, sorry, dude, I read your chat before, but I didn't want to interrupt everyone else talking. Chris is excited because he's finally going to use his She-Hulk. Because check this out. Not only do you get the class advantage with She-Hulk, you get those bonuses, but she also has that additional class advantage thing, right? So it's like triple class advantage if you play She-Hulk.
That's crazy.
Did they fix her sig ability? They said it was broken, right?
Yeah, I think it was fixed in this latest update.
Okay, I haven't noticed a difference.
She's a map for sure.
Wait, you're using her?
No, when I face her.
Oh, okay.
Mine is not awakened, so...
Oh, okay, well, yeah.
Bummer.
That's too bad. Hopefully your next crystal you'll...
She's not in the featured crystal, so it will not be in my next crystal.
Well, the featured crystal is going to change eventually, you know.
It is crazy to think about like how how many champ options do we have with the way the map looks and all that? Like how many female champs do we have that were like actually like, okay, this opens this up to this one female champion I never used, but she's gonna be great now, you know?
She's gonna be great.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I don't think it does it for anybody.
We gotta hit up Super Dirty Pickles super chat.
Okay.
Wondering who do you feel the most nerf immune champion is in terms of rotating global war nodes, inhibiting abilities, as it were? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna throw out my new loves, my new second love. We'll call him second love. My second love's name of the Sentinel. He's a monster. He's debuff immune, doesn't rely on bleed. He has armor break. He can tank special 3s apparently. Of course, double immunity. I mean, I think he's got a lot going for him that people don't realize. So he'll probably be one. Stark Spider-Man. He's not really affected by this too much, I don't think.
Take away a champion's ability to like dexterity or auto evade or something like that.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about, well, that's okay. If you're gonna go that route, where in terms of a rotating global war nodes, like there could be nodes that nerf every single champion in the game. So I'm just going based on this next one with Sentinel and Stark. But there's always going to be something that's going to take someone, like there's going to be a season where you can't use Corvus or something. You know,
Right.
like there'll be a prove yourself node with kind of like Flare, but maybe without the degen. Like you'll get extra attack, but you better hit him 15 times first. So
Yeah.
there's going to be stuff like that hits the contest. And there's actually a way to work around that. Wouldn't it be parry, light attack, back away until you did that 15 times with Corvus and retain all its charges? So there'd be workarounds still, but it would be cumbersome, you know. So in terms of the future, there's always going to be a rotating, global node that is going to take away some of our more favorite champions' abilities and push us to other avenues.
They could do a class base too, like they did with 5.3. Maybe the opposite though, where they just say, okay, all cosmic champions, your attack is reduced by 50% or something like that. You know?
Yep. I don't think they'd ever do gates necessarily, because like, well, you got to have a cosmic to enter this gate, and then they just line it up with mystics. Because I mean, even though you could still have the other champions on your team, but I don't foresee gates of any sort.
Mm-hmm. Panama Pete sending over $1 Where's your last one? So when are we gonna have to put Sig Stones in defenders to hide our attackers? It's possible we might have to do something like that, man. You know, keep the attack team a little bit more hidden. Then again, I mean, you could just eventually your top prestige champions will just be up there, and the rest of your champs are going to be hidden either way. I know you're looking forward to this next season, Panama P with Ghost. You're just gonna wreck like absolutely everyone. It's gonna be insane.
Les Arnin. Got the girlfriend a white noise app to help her sleep. It's just a mashup recording of guys talking about MCOC, golf, Dockers, Whole Foods, and the new Coldplay album.
Dude, that sounds like a good time right there, man. Just make sure you don't listen while driving.
Yeah, some people are saying Star-Lord. I think the old simple champs, the Star-Lords and Magics and stuff, I think they're decently like, I don't know that anyone's nerf proof, but you know, when you're talking about these global nodes, like the ones that have simple mechanics but do really powerful things. Pete said Ghost. I think Ghost, yeah. Anyone who's like much of their utility is tied to some sort of passive, you know, like for guaranteed crits and stuff.
Yeah. What so we touched on a couple of the, like, I feel like we touched on some of the more positive things that were taken away from this. What do you foresee, Dreamin', some of the negative effects of the announcement that they made, if any?
All the bitching that we're gonna see.
I won't see it. I'm not gonna be on the forums.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's specifically why I didn't make a video and just wanted to do a live stream instead, because I know the comments, no matter what I say, how I word it, it's just going to be bad, so
yeah.
I'd rather just talk about it with you guys.
Giving the female champs this boost doesn't hurt the champs that people normally bring. Like if you normally bring Void, you're still going to bring Void. He's unaffected completely. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really see too many negatives. But I'm generally more in favor of them trying new stuff versus like everything has to stay the same permanently. Otherwise, we need rank down tickets for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like they've been giving more tier 2 alpha, so like we're getting more rank ups to kind of push this style of play where, like, I mean, can you imagine if like what would they have to do? They'd have to slow things down if they just wanted everything to stay the same. This way, yeah, you can't only get like that one champion and that's it. That's all you play with forever. But instead, we're getting, you know, we're getting increased rank up materials, so we could rank up more champions and play around with these new nodes.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
And I guess that, well, we are at the high end, but we still only get like one a week if we get pretty good pulls, you know. So that's still one a month, and we're like at the you know, top 10, man. There's another, what, 130,000 alliances out there. So you got to figure, man, they don't get those materials that fast at all.
Yeah.
Right. But it is only the top tiers, and I know, yeah, even as you go down in the top tiers, it's not as fast like you said, but get there, you know, make that part of the drive to want to get more materials.
These changes really affect tier 2 and tier 3 a little bit more than they affect us, because you've got players who may not have the roster depth or maybe even the skill set, like they're kind of on the edge, but they're running the same maps we are, you know, and sometimes getting matchups against alliances, you know, where the defense is just crazy. So I always think these ones affect them a little bit more than us. I remember the mid-map minis, that being the case. You had a lot of people, even our B alliance, our other family alliance that was in Plat 3. I mean, they were seeing all sorts of stuff on those mid-map minis they just didn't have the rosters for, or at least, you know, you didn't have players that were rotating paths and had answers to just about anything, so they were flexible in terms of paths, and you know. But this one I don't think is a crazy one. I think like bleed immunity across the map, it's fine. And yeah, I don't think they didn't nerf any of the crazy whatever. Like they didn't. Everyone was like, oh, they're gonna nerf Corvus, and I think he's still gonna do his thing. You know, I think they're probably just gonna go the Electro route and stuff for at least for now, for, you know, nerfing him. But I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really find too many what I felt to be like, as soon as I read it, nothing stood out to me and said, oh, this isn't good. Like, that's not gonna work. Like, here we go again, you know. It was all pretty much like, okay, like, I'm willing to roll with this. I think one of the things that is difficult, BG, and having me and Dreamin' and Kate on, is you're getting perspectives from a Master Alliance that's, you know, top 10 war rating or something, 15 war rating, top 10 AQ. Like, we're playing at the end game. So I'm really curious. But you know, anybody's perspective, whether it's at the top, middle, or towards the bottom, is going to be flawed at this point because nobody's seen it in action yet. So, but getting our perspective right out of the gate, it's like, oh yeah, well, I'll just use this champ, this champ, this champ. I mean, dude, I've got 16 rank 4 higher. You know, there's not going to be too many tier 4, tier 5 alliance groups that are sitting that way. So they're going to have a little bit more time, where if they did rely heavily on a bleed champ or something, like that was their one champ. But like I mentioned, like right at the start of your stream, like Blade, even though if he can't bleed, if he still got that danger sense against a villain or dimensional being, he's in pretty good shape still. So, and those are the fights you'd want to use him for anyway, right? Like, you'd choose somebody else if it was like Thor Ragnarok or Gladiator Hulk. Maybe, I don't know, you still got class advantage there. But if you saw you know, Blade wasn't the favorable matchup in our circumstance, we take in a different champion already. So,
yeah. And the thing is, too, like, I definitely agree with you guys that it is probably going to have a bigger impact on the alliances that like I don't, what do you guys know what tier it is that this goes down to? What, like, challenger and expert?
5.
Is it 5? Okay, so alliances in like tier 5, they're probably going to feel it the most. But at the same time, you know, they don't have as hard of a challenge to go up against either.
Right.
A lot of the defenders you see there, it's a night and day difference between having to fight like MXIV, you know, versus these other alliances. And
oh man, well, I can tell you right now that like tier 5, tier 6, their buffs on like on the harder nodes is like plus 75% attack and health.
Yeah, so the nodes are easier too, and you still are using rank 5 champions. Like, that's the thing, is it doesn't matter what tier you're in. Well, I mean, to some extent, yeah, of course it matters, but you can clear Act 5 and you can get yourself a rank 5, and you're still using the same level of attacker that people at the highest level are using. You're just having, easier enemies to go up against. So yeah, these global nodes, without having as deep of a roster, it's going to have a little bit more of an impact, but you know, you're still not having to face as crazy of defenders, and people at the highest end, they're going to be able to look at these nodes and be like, oh wow, they, you know, like bleed immunity, or maybe not bleed immunity, maybe that's not the best example, but whatever they come out with next season, they might look at that and be like, okay, here's the defenders that we need to rank up, and maybe we could even double up on a couple of these guys that, you know, would really give people a tough time. Whereas the lower tiers, they can't necessarily do that. So it's a mix of both when it comes to difficulty.
Yeah.
All right, there's a couple of super chats here that I'm behind on, so let me go through these. Sorry, guys. Panama Pete sent over $2 saying global node increasing evade chance by 500%. Rip Stark Spidey. So increasing the evade. You're saying this way you could like never land a parry or something like that?
So Proximus for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Hobbit saying, I think it might have been cooler to see bleeds damage be reduced by 50 or even 75%, so other mechanics tied to bleeds aren't affected, like blades, power gain, or Gwenpool refresh. Yeah, or just being able to use Archangel at all in the slightest. So yeah, I agree, but I see. I agree, but at the same time, like that's probably the most powerful thing about Blade is that power gain. Like the bleed damage itself is great,
yeah.
but like
That's true.
the power gain for him is so powerful. So how do you stop it without making them immune? So I think I agree with you that I would like to see it just reduced instead of completely turned off, but I don't know.
And there's been a couple posts about Archangel, you know, oh, he's dead, he's dead. Don't think of him as dead, just think of him as like he's on vacation right now.
Yeah.
Back in
He's
6
yeah, he'll be back in 6 weeks. So I know it sucks in the interim, but don't worry about it, man. He'll be back.
Yeah, all these characters are going to come back, and then hopefully... Dude, how cool would it be if they said, like... I don't know, no champion is immune to bleed. If they could... I don't know if they would want to screw with the system that much, but like if you could even make, like, Sentinel bleed or something like that, even though it was a robot. And then Archangel would just be, like, the god, you know?
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, they still have to be able to be poisoned, though. So
that is true. That's true.
Just half that. Aaron Abdo's chucking them $2 at you, saying Mastery Talk, no deep wounds, all defenders double edge. That's not a bad idea. The only problem is recoil.
Dude, on certain nodes though, what about like an all or nothing or something, you know?
Well, Stark Spider-Man. How many all or nothing nodes does he take on a daily basis?
That's true. What about... No, yeah, you're probably still not going to do that.
Magic. But
what about...
you still got 4 defenders you're chucking in there.
Yeah. I mean, deep wounds, you could definitely take those points out at least, but the rest of it, yeah, recoil.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think
gonna
about
get you.
it. I can save 4 deep wounds points for like the whole season. Like, and not have to think about it anymore.
Oh man,
Yeah.
not me, dude, not me. Because I use Blade for Void and AQ daily.
Sure.
And
Come on.
It is like it shortens that fight by like 30 hits.
For sure.
You'll still be
deep
fine.
wounds?
Like,
I didn't say I couldn't do it. I just said it shortens it by 30 hits, man.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. And you know,
Yeah.
I actually took Void out with Suicides on last week, and
What?
How?
just double edge, not poison. The bleed eventually expired, and I was still alive, so it was all good. But I actually used I hit him. It was 78 hits, and my normal with no suicides but deep wounds is like 62 to 65. So it took me almost 15 more hits with the suicides on versus the deep wounds to take him down. And I lost like a lot of health.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
It
survived.
was, yeah, I survived, man. It was pretty crazy. I was Well, I was doing real quick math right as soon as that fight started because it was ticking for like 660 or close to 700 per tick. So I was like 14, what was that, 1400 per tick times, what is it, 16 seconds? Is that what it is? I forget how long Deep Wounds is on for. I mean, Double Edge.
16 seconds.
Okay, 16 seconds. So yeah, I'm like 1,400 times 16 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna lose like 20,000 health, but I've got 27,000. I'm gonna take this little bit of chip damage if I, So I ran the numbers. I was good.
Yeah.
If you slipped up at all, you were toast, though, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I finished the fight with 8% health.
Yeah.
It was clean. It was clean.
It is
close.
Last season, I accidentally brought in Blade to fight Void with full suicides, and it was like 10 seconds, and I was dead.
Oh, I force quit if I see that. Like, oh no.
Well, that's actually probably a better idea.
Like, oh, sorry, my game just crashed on me. Oops.
I just feel like a chronic mastery respecker in war, and so this will save me at least one decision. Like I no longer have to,
Oh, dude, the last war where I wanted to take that domino with Sentinel. I had one build for the first 3 fights, including Deep Wounds and all that, and then I switched to full suicides with like max attack and all that because I was just gonna use Sentinel. And then as soon as that fight and the next fight were done, I switched them all back around again to have I wanted a Double Edge, max recoil, because I was going to go up against Medusa with magic, but I was only going to use the special 3 anyway. So yeah, it was like 150, 170 units probably.
Dude, it's nice when you get to respec, like you end your lane on suicides and you're like, well, I can use these for arena for a little bit. Like,
yeah, right. For a couple days. That's why I'm still got them on, and that's why I'm still running max recoil. Like, nope, I'm gonna wait. But there's a part of me that's like, I'm just gonna take them back off, man, because I'm finding what it is. It's not arena, that's fine. War, that last war is whatever anyway. But the occult labs, it's getting really tough to do those running suicides.
That's true.
Like really tough. Like, oh, I need a heal block, but every time I use a special, I lose 10% of my health.
Yeah, dude. Having the max recoil, dude.
Yeah, oh, dude, it's eating me alive, man.
How much is the max recoil? Is it 15?
10.
It's 5, 7.5, 10.
You can feel testing max recoil and being like, screw this, dude. Like your health bar is just like, I don't know. It's nice to have the damage, but your health bar is just disappearing.
Oh yeah, you get in like 9. Well, usually the 9th or 10th one kills you if you're running like doing Realm of Legends or something, or if you're in a long fight. Because man, I've had some of the ones I ran tonight. Every single fight had 5 to 6 buffs on it. Every one of them, and they were brutal. Like every one of them was like cornered, masochism, power gain. Yeah, and all of them. I'd re-roll. I think I'm out of those dice, man. I think I rolled so many times.
It happened at NYCC. Like I feel like because we had to step out in order to get any service, so you try to like organize your AW, your AQ, and your occult labs in one sitting. And I remember having sitting out there for 45 minutes doing hell. I'm like, dude, I gotta go back in. Why am I getting these nodes right now?
Oh yeah, they can take 15-20 minutes at the epic tier for sure. Yep. They're brutal, but it's a lot of fun. I think it's cool, but yeah, I've been hit with some mean ones, man. Well, anyway, that made suicides very, very unfriendly.
Plus the voids, right? If you don't have a double immune in there, or he's tied up in war or something, like my Iceman's tied up somewhere, I'm like, I'm ready.
Oh no, I've got a lot of double immunes.
Yeah,
I'm a baller.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Dude, that's Sentinel, man. Can't tell you how bad I wish I had Sentinel.
The game just keeps giving them to me, man. I've pulled them from basic. I pulled them from 1 FGMC. Got him for $5 the other day in the tech crystal. I mean,
daily, dude, that was nuts. We
got
2 or 3 around 4 Loki from that daily. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was pretty nuts for sure. No, he's really powerful. I really enjoy him. And one thing that you guys both probably saw my domino fight with him.
Yep.
It came down to the last 7 seconds, but I played it pretty safe, just trying to get a feel for the fight. And obviously the damage is there, that's no problem. I think that going forward, what I would do to increase the how fast I can get her down is I'll start punishing her special one as long as she's not lucky.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't punishing it. Like, I was just like, okay, I'm going to dash back. I'm going to dash back again. Where I know that I can dash back from the first part, dash in towards her and be, like, right next to her. And then evade that grenade and then, boom, punish it right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Have to be close or she's going to parry you.
Yeah. Because if you're even halfway across the screen and try to evade that and come in, yep, it's too late. And I practice that daily, either against her or Void in AQ. Like, I always punish this special one by evading the first part, dashing in, you pause for a slight second, and then you dash back, and then you can punish it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Void you can punish, though, even across the map. His SP.
True, it's a little bit closer, but yeah, I mean, you can.
I wouldn't do it in war. The chance of getting parried is like too high for sure.
In war, I don't do anything like that.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah.
It's like super safe in war.
I just get my souls and block.
I think Domino would be okay, because her special one is such a long animation. Like, she does that first part and throws it way up in the air. You can just kind of sit back and wait, and it's pretty chill. I think I'd be pretty confident pulling off that maneuver. And that there was probably like 10 special ones I didn't punish. So if I punish each one of those, I'm doing like 10k damage per 5 hits. So there's another 50,000. That's almost a third of her health that I could have done just by being a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, and I noticed you started doing the medium counter a little bit later into the fight too. Like dash out, dash in on her combo.
I don't know. I think I started doing that right out of the gate. One of the things I was doing from the start, though, was I was building the analysis charges, and that takes me like 45 to 50 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then it's back out, punish worker, and go to town. Because like I said, I did the math, and I don't know, BG, if you saw that screenshot I posted or not, but suicides and boosts seem to be a little bit off, man. Like, I was only getting 23% increased damage on that node, where I was running 30% in double edge, 30% in liquid courage, 7.2% in glass cannon, 30% big boy boost, 10% boost, and 100 analysis charges. Was only doing 23% more damage than just running double edge with no boost.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I don't know what was going on there. I didn't really look at it too much, to be honest, but that definitely sounds like something's off.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. All right, real quick, let me read Super Dirty Pickle. Sorry, man, I know you sent this over a while ago. He said some profound discourse here, but would you guys rather have gold pool or a year's supply of beans? The beans, of course. BG35 won't be denied my glory. All right, yeah. I forgot your the last 5. My bad, dude. But wait, are we talking about actual gold pool in game or the gold pool trophy that the guy won for New York City Comic Con?
Yeah, I'll take the beans.
Yeah, I'd still take the beans too.
Yeah. What kind of beans are these? Fava beans? Kidney beans? What do we get?
Depends on the bean type.
I need to be doing some auto questing here. I'm sitting at 70 bolts.
I just finished the pick to try to dupe my Corvus and got my 3rd Hella from this crystal. Yeah.
You're capped out on energy during completion? What in the world?
Dude, tell me about it. It couldn't have been that long ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm still at 15k already, though.
Yeah.
Someone asking, how do you get analysis charges? There's a few ways. Like, if you hit into the enemy while they're blocking, because they're repeating that blocking action, you get analysis charges. The other way is just pretty much just getting them to their special one and having them Repeat that over and over. Like, you can
Yeah.
get some
Or any
throughout the
special.
fight. Yeah. And you can get some throughout the fight if they attack into you while you're blocking and stuff, but of course you want to try to avoid that.
Yeah, makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
Um,
That's all there is to it.
So yeah, I did. I was gonna say this earlier, but I do think that the tone of the post was very it was very carefully worded, which I think was awesome because the community, especially the peeps on the forums, tend to pounce. So it was, I think it was like the way that they presented, because the last big AW change was mid-map minis, and oh, by the way, we're getting rid of defender.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So I think this, they were like, okay, we've got to just lay out the roadmap and tell everybody why we're trying to do this and what we're trying to do. And I think really good.
Whoever they hired to write this for Kabam Mike did a
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's whenever they do these dev thoughts posts, though, it's like a combination of the developers. So like whatever developer works on Alliance Wars, and also like the community guys. So like Kabam Mike, I think they write it together.
Oh yeah. No, I know that Kabam Mike didn't just. He's like, I'm just gonna put this out there. Who cares what Kabam thinks? I'm just gonna write this. No, I know it's a joint effort. Lots of proofreading. Each kind of person responsible for different aspects of the game probably weighed in on it, of course. Okay, so we've talked a lot about, I think, their issue number one, meta champions versus diversity, the rotating global buffs, what the buffs are going to be. We've talked about some of the champs. Do we want to touch on kind of a couple of the other things that they, their issue number two was unfair play in Alliance War. This was also a big part of their post.
I definitely.
Was that was directed to us, right? Because we're the biggest victims.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say for us to
No,
stop piloting.
Brian, no.
A bunch of Plat 1 alliances too, and Plat 2 and Plat 3 that suffered the wrath of these dockings.
There's so many people that suffer this, man. I still feel I feel the worst for the players who, after some of these top alliances got docked, and now they have to go and fight them in tier 3 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you even do at that point? You just say, all right, well, next war, guys.
Yeah.
But you either waste a ton of items or you lose more points than you should, so they get really screwed.
Yeah.
Well, I've gained a little bit of perspective from some buddies and also playing in lower tiers, and I think one of the issues you run into that almost, I'm not gonna say demands piloting, because of course it's just, you shouldn't do it, but the activity level down there, man, it's abysmal. And for some of these people that want to compete, it's like, hey man, here's my stuff, I'm gonna be unavailable, I'm just not even gonna play. And of course you want to replace that person, but then I think that ties into their issue number 3 that they posted right after issue number 2, is finding your alliance home, and how they want to make it easier for you to find an active alliance that meets your requirements, and how alliances who need people can fill those roles quickly with people that of course fit their activity level and whatnot. So I think that they know that that's part of the issue. Hey, I mean, if you're going to run map 6, we need you available at 10:45 a.m. to clear this node, and oh, you're at work, you gotta take a break, you know what I mean? Map 6 should not interfere with your workday or your personal life. You should, and that's why I think it's actually easier sometimes than map 5, is because you don't have to wait for nodes to come down a lot of times. You can just take them, just sack up, play well, go in noded, clear it, and keep moving. And so a lot of times, I wake up first thing in the morning. If I've got to head out and I'm going to be unavailable till noon, dude, I'll just crush my whole line, 5 bolts, and go. But for some people, that might not be an option. Maybe it's a confidence thing, champ thing, whatever the case may be. So they're always waiting. So they don't have the time to do it. And so what happens is they end up giving their login info to their BG leader, officer, or whatever the case may be, and they're running 4 and 5 accounts in some of these alliances, man, just to keep them moving.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't really put these two things together when I first read it. Like I thought that this was great that they were gonna make some new searching tools and recruitment tools, but I didn't even realize that that's also a way to kind of stop people from account sharing. Is these guys just might not have a way of finding those alliances. So.
Oh, it's global, dude. They recruit from global. Can you imagine what kind of nightmare that is?
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've turned global on in years.
Nah, we haven't had to, but dude, we're without sounding like pompous, like
We're in a privileged position because
yes, thank you. we're like royalty here, man. It's like people come to us for a spot. We have things to offer, whereas, oh man, come join our Gold 2 Alliance. We run map 3 and then we hit map 5 on like days 1 or 2, before it gets tough. And who wants that?
Well, I think what season's really kind of added to that because you saw a lot of people being like, nope, like I want to push higher, and it's not just to tier 1, but you saw a lot of I feel like loyalty levels went down when Alliance War season started because they're pretty, all of a sudden the differences between you and your teammates and how hard you want to push versus maybe how hard they want to push became very, very apparent.
Yeah. Like if you're not doing event minimums and stuff where you see people's activity level, waxing or waning, but it's based on like your performance and what a teammate might be costing you, even though you like the guy, but it's like, dang dude, you just died 7 times on your path.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta part ways.
And that's very obvious when if you're a tier 3 or something and you're boosting your butt off, but the guy next to you isn't, because maybe he just can't spend the units to do so or whatever, and all of a sudden you're like, well, like I want to push this hard with other guys that push this hard, so I'm not always heartbroken. So
nope, you're exactly right, because if you think about a free-to-play perspective and somebody that does this for fun and maybe they don't grind arena, where do you get units if you don't play arena?
Yeah, true.
And you don't buy them, so you're sure as hell not getting 30% boost anywhere.
You get them at the wheel at Comic-Con. That's the only other way.
Yeah, I hit up all the cons.
Yeah, I mean, you said. Oh wait, sorry. Were you about to say something, Dreamin'?
No, it's just that's how I got my units from my friends who were at Comic-Con.
Okay. But be Manny, dude, you were saying like, who wants that for an alliance of like we do map 3 and one day of map 5 or something, dude. That's how 4 Loki started, man. That's when I saw that on the forums, I was like, "Oh, this is the best alliance ever," and I haven't even left. But yeah, I think
can't kick you. It's like cancer.
That's that's wow. That's how I think of it. But that's how like there are ways to find alliances, but I think a lot of people either are just not aware of those ways or they just they don't want to like go to those other ways. And I understand it, man. Like I refused for the longest time to download Line app. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that to play a game. Screw you. I'm just gonna log in and play the game. And I didn't want to go to like the forums to have to find an alliance and stuff, but I think this is gonna help out a ton for those guys.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right, and I think that it'll also help. Okay, I've got another friend who I started playing the game and he brought me into his alliance. It was a 3 mil alliance. It was a big deal. My PI was like 40k when they had like 200,000 K accounts. So I was a little fish and like I got to know him really well. Anyway, I've known him for a couple years. Really good guy, but he was so super loyal to the alliance that I was in with him, and I bounced from there a long time ago. I saw that what I wanted and what they wanted was completely different, but he kept sticking out with him, would PM me about his frustrations and stuff, and I'm like, dude, it's a game, like if you're not having fun and you're doing all this stuff, you're running 5 accounts, you're doing all the recruiting, you're replacing people weekly, I mean, you're gonna burn out. I was like, you'll be much happier if you just leave. I was like, just go find another place. And like, I even tried to help him find a couple of different homes, but he was really just torn about wanting to leave there, and he has since left. The alliance is pretty much disbanded, and he's much happier. But I think that if he was given a better way that like what they're trying to introduce, he might have made that move sooner and been able to jump kind of right up into what he was wanting quicker. So I think that a lot of people will definitely be able to utilize this going forward. One of the problems we're running into now, it's like we're recruiting. Oh, okay, we're gonna have a spot. Looking out, somebody PMs you. Oh yeah, I was in Legion. I was in MMX. I was in one of these other docked alliances. It's like, nah, man. Like we have to turn a lot of them away, man, because we have the other 29 guys to look out for. Like we're not gonna jeopardize anything that we built here for anybody.
Yeah, for sure. Well, plus with the MMX guys, it's easy because you just say, well, we don't recruit from Gold 1, so.
Sorry, you don't have Tier 1 war experience.
Yeah. How did
some of them might not actually.
Latter half of this last season, how was that spent?
Yeah. No, yeah, you're exactly right. So yeah, I'm pumped about that. And dude, I turned down a guy with like 9,300 prestige just yesterday, because I don't trust him. Yeah.
You never know with those alliances that, I mean, because you hear all sorts of stories. Even, I don't know, it's just MMX is like there's very few alliances that is like the last of the old guard, but you've heard enough stories about them in general to just be like, well, I don't know. Like if you played there, it's like you've already got a big red flag. I don't know. And you might not have ever done anything, but no one knows, and anytime anything like this happens, people are like, I swear it was one guy, and it's always the same story. So you're like, I don't know, man.
Nope, you're exactly right.
On a boat, right?
I think it's so funny, but I think it's so awesome at the same time. Is that when I first started playing? Of course, MMX has been on the board. I mean, at the top for ever since I started playing, for sure. So a couple years, it's like, man, that'd be. I used to think, like, what would it take? Would I ever have what it took to play there? Maybe I want to play there someday. See what it'd take to get in. And now, like, looking at it, it's like I'm like, we're in a better position than they are.
Sure, for sure.
So, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah. Poor Loki coming up from bi-weekly T4CC days.
Yeah, I know, dude. So crazy. Plus, I mean, I don't want to brag, but we made it all the way from Plat 3 to Master this year.
We were in Platinum 3, weren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. When we were at 4.
That war we won ended, and we were watching, because you're waiting the timer of the war, and we're like, are we going to hit Gold 1, like, as people move up, because our timer wasn't done yet?
I was hoping we would, man.
What a Cinderella story,
What a season.
It was. And yeah, I knew before our last one started that we were good. We just had to match, and 100%. I knew we were good, but what a mess, man. What a mess.
Well, and I think, first of all, Tater's breakdown is like legendary, but when you look at the season stats and stuff, it wasn't a bad. We got like the short end of the stick with stuff,
Yeah, that was my follow-up post to what he put out there, that it was actually really encouraging. The numbers, the percentages, decrease in deaths, decrease just all around the board. It was really very positive. Yeah. And I think that even more of those numbers could have been reduced some, given if the wars were a little closer. I think that there was a couple there where it was like, just finish it off. Yeah. Whatever. So don't worry about boosting. We've already died 3 times or something to a boss. So yeah, that could have been improved. So no, all that was great. It was all really encouraging. But you guys were there. It did not feel like it.
Exactly.
No, when it was happening, it was not good.
And there were, like, people were like lighthearted and joking about it, but I'm like, I just hope that people don't actually believe that, like, we're worse this season, because we're not. It was just like the,
Oh yeah. Well, I'm like, Line Chat, for Loki War Chat, members.
Yeah.
Who can I kick? It's gonna make us better.
Yeah.
Because it was something. I was gonna have to do something. I was like, you know what, man? These guys are gonna call for my head. Like,
No, dude,
B
no.
Manny, F this guy. We're in Plat 3. Who's he brought in? Like,
No, I think all of us knew because we were there and these were like close wars and I mean it was before the dockings, but like you just can tell. You're like these guys. I mean,
it's like, why hasn't BG2 joined yet? Oh, one.
Yeah.
A couple minutes later, 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this in season 1.
It was crazy, but I'm so happy to see. I mean, it's an incomplete system right now, but man, we got the biggest band waves that we've gotten in a long time.
Yeah, they laid them out pretty heavily, which is great.
Yeah.
All those guys that they can. Oh, I'm just gonna walk away. Good.
Yeah.
See ya. Peace.
Yeah.
One of the
it
other
took all 3 band waves for us to get masters, right? We needed all 3.
Oh, I'm sure. BG's over there tugging people off with both hands trying to get us in masters. He pulled it off.
Wait, what?
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Whatever you did.
No problem.
I'm really curious here. They had a couple lines in here. Solution 2 under their unfair play, improve methods to identify offenders. Okay, so underneath that bullet point, they kind of said we want to punish the individual more. Yes, the alliance is still going to get hit, but I think they want to make it more apparent as far as who it was, because obviously if an alliance gets in trouble and they just brought in 5 new guys, they don't know which one it is. They're all denying it. What do you do? Do you kick all 5? So I think that's good, because it says in the past we've penalized alliances for the actions of individuals. Moving forward, we want to focus on the individual culprits. They're still going to take actions on the alliances that make use of any of the illegitimate methods. So if it is just one person, maybe the other 29 shouldn't suffer. However, it's going to have an immediate punishment. But then, maybe, hey, this person. Notifying leadership somehow, maybe, where boom, that individual is not going to be available. And then there was the next. They talked about collusion, which okay, but I am interested in the next part that talked about the matchmaking tool, because I was kind of curious, because at first they kind of mentioned the way it is, then I thought that they kind of switched to the way that they were gonna make it, but then it almost seemed like it was like, we're working on a solution to that. So I'm not 100% sure if we're actually going to get anything with their matchmaking algorithm.
It doesn't sound like we're going to get anything new for Season 5 for the matchmaking.
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
That was a bummer. Because it was talking about the longer you're in the queue, because that's happened to us a few times, man, where we're in the queue for 45 minutes and then we get one of those +3, -150 matchups where the other alliance is just like, we lost this one. I mean, before it starts,
Yeah, there's so many issues with the matchmaking. There's just a ton. That is one of them where, you have those crazy lopsided matches. They happen more often than they should. There's those alliances that purposely avoid each other. Like the top few alliances just never play against each other,
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
There's a bunch of issues with it. I really want them just to have it start automatically at a certain time, but I know there's issues with that too, so what is the right call? I don't even know.
My argument against that is Alliance Quest starts at the same time every day. So if people are out there doing AQ 5 days a week, they should be able to do.
Yeah, that's true. I think if they took away a couple of those linked nodes in the middle, then that would also help a lot.
Yeah, because at the top, they have to see that in Tier 1, most likely every single war was 100%, unless somebody clicked and went the wrong way. Every node went down, though, So I can't really see how they think that, Oh, well, if this guy fails, like, the other guy's going to have to take that linked. And, dude, I tried to take a Thor Rags on 34, linked from 35, which is,
Power shield.
let's see, Power Shield, unblockable L2, and Power Gain incoming, but he's also got Vigor, and every time a buff expires, I lose my power. Dude, I could do nothing to that guy. So if it was a real war, I wouldn't try to fight that linked. I mean, we'd be like, yeah, you know, take it down, take your node down. So yeah, if you can get rid of those where you're not that time constraint for the middle. See, like lanes 1, 9, 6 to 7, 4, almost 2. Those guys can pretty much just blaze. You know, they just get out and go. But 4, 5, and 6 for the second part really have to. You know, we're fortunate enough where the guys that do it in 4 Loki are available. We can usually communicate a time, and it's like, yep, all 4 of us are going to be available at 3:45 or something, or 12:30 lunchtime, whatever the case may be. And boom, we get in, we tag team it, we're back and forth, and we clear it. But there's other alliances where that is not at all like a reality, and it's like, okay, I took mine down, now I've got to wait 3 hours till he gets off work or out of school or class or whatever the case may be, and then he clears, and then it's going to be another 2 hours. So they can't just boost once and go.
Yeah,
you know, it's
I mean,
a mess.
There's been a lot of times in BG1 where we've kind of fallen into those traps too, though, where, you know, I'm not cleared until like the next morning or something like that, so I have to start my path late, and then because I switch over to 7, I'm holding up one of the final nodes to unlock path 6, so now I'm holding up the rest of the guys in middle, and I don't have that energy until war is like practically over, a couple hours from being over, and these guys who are going down middle, you know, they'd be fine earlier, but once you start to get later in that midday, it's harder to line up all those times and everything, and it's just a mess.
Yep.
I wish it was a little bit better for war. I get it for Alliance Quest, you know, like that's the whole thing about Alliance Quest, is like coordinating those moves, but for war we could do with a little bit less of it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, 100%. And that going back to the disparity in the alliances, it's funny here. They said that some alliances may run into because they can be made, matchmaking can be done during non-peak hours. Some alliances may run into longer than expected matchmaking times, which could result in a large award disparity rating (parentheses) due to our previous improvements. It's like, wait. You made improvements that like made these lopsided ass matches? Like,
yeah.
Whose idea was that?
Because they had done, aren't they referencing that? Because remember, for a long time, it was like a lot of maybe your total alliance rating or your PI, whatever, was taken into account, and then people would, you know, sandbag the crap out of things or start over when they'd hit a whatever, and then they
were shell swapping. Yep.
Yeah. Then after that, it felt like, at least before war season started and they made another adjustment, it felt like people had gotten stuck in different levels almost. So maybe like, because the war matchmaking system was meant to basically just about keep you at 50-50, there were alliances that had a high war rating, but they weren't as good as they once were, but they were about 50-50 fighting other alliances that were like that. So when seasons came, like, it felt like, I don't know, at least to us, because we moved up a bunch, it just felt like we were fighting these alliances that were much higher than us, but weren't nearly as good, and everybody kind of settled into place. So my thought was that that's kind of what they're referencing there. Like those kinds of changes, because like right now, you know, if you were to, because some people had this idea in chat too, like, well, why not factor in the total, your alliance's total, whatever PI into it? Well, because that system didn't work. It was easily manipulated. So I think they're always trying to stay ahead of it, but there's no one perfect way to do it.
Yeah. I think one of the most fair ways to do it would be to, it might require seasons being a little bit longer again, but having a schedule, like just like the Major League any major league sport, essentially, you've got a schedule lined out. Like, hey, you take the top 50 alliances or whatever, and they're gonna fight each other. You might not fight everybody, but you're gonna fight so many from the top 25 and so many from the bottom 25.
I agree.
And see where you fall.
We had talked about it a little bit, and I actually talked to Simon about it too. I know we've been throwing around the idea of like, if you don't necessarily have to have a bracket, but it'd be cool, it'd just be fun. But basically, have the first 2/3 of the season as qualifiers, just like in any sort of season in college sports or whatever. You kind of qualify within your tier, and then you have a bracket at the end in the last 4 wars or whatever however you want to do it. Something where or just say, how many wars are you guys in for this week? And you say 3, and then Kabam's like, okay, we'll get matched between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. on, Sunday or whatever, like Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and then that way they don't, like, people can't actually manipulate the time and plan with other alliances, avoid things. So
the only thing I would want to avoid would be like, or try to avoid is, because with seasons, every point matters, right? So if we get matched up with NYC, Apaco gets ASR, but then NYC gets like 2 Loki, which nothing against 2 Loki, but they're not ready for that war. They might not clear it all. They're not going to have the defenders, so NYC is going to clear much more cleaner than they would if they face someone like us. So you want to make sure that those types of matchups don't happen. Or the flip side of that is, if those kind of matchups do happen, you ensure that ASR, Apaco, us, Zeus get to fight 2 Loki also.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That goes back to like the scheduling thing, where you're taking the tier 1 and like the top half of the tier 2 alliances, the guys are not the tier 2 multiplier alliances, and you're giving them a shot to be able to step up by proving that they can beat a tier 1 alliance, and they're not getting that tier 1 multiplier by matching at some weird time, or because their algorithm is giving them platinum 1 alliances to fight, or platinum 2, I should say.
Strength of schedule should be even across the board. I agree with you, because I feel like there's a disparity there right now. Like, some alliances are facing 4 master alliances to stay in master, and some are facing 8.
Well, have you heard about how Bray was number 1 for so long at the beginning? How that happened?
I saw. Yeah, a couple alliances didn't clear the map against them.
They left like 29 nodes up.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God! Wow.
Dude, let me bust out my calculator. 29 times 250 is 7250 times what? The 7 multiplier. That's an extra 50,000 points.
Yeah, that's
And
nuts.
the season is so short that points are dictated by anywhere from 3,000 to like 15,000 points. So they got 50k points right out of the gate by facing just somebody they had no business fighting, and they probably didn't die but like a handful of times.
Yeah.
So they didn't lose.
EAC is in here from Bray, said it's true.
Yeah. There you go. And not that it was like you're doing, I mean, kudos, I suppose, if you were able to like know when to match that particular alliance or whatever, but stuff like that shouldn't happen. So
yeah. It's
hey,
what
Paul.
I want. Brian, I'm so sorry. I know we were just talking, and Brian's just being held hostage here, making fun of us. But I do want to say, because I think a lot of people think B-Manny and I sound alike, there's 2 different people speaking. So everyone's like, hey, Cade just won't stop. I'm like, I'm not. No.
I don't think you guys sound alike. I mean,
I don't either. But people seem to. I don't know.
Really, I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
No, there's. Yeah, no, it's a lot of people people always get upset when I'm not talking and we're just having our own conversation. But I like having the conversation too. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, everybody. B-Manny, do you realize though that you just set up 2 Loki with like the toughest match, the toughest season of their lives?
They want to be in Masters, right?
you're like, let's just, well, if they play Paco, then all of the other Master Alliances have to play them too. It's just like, oh, let's just give them 12 in a row, like the top 12 teams or something like that.
Punching bag. Boom, boom. Well, that's what I was saying. The seasons will have to be a little bit longer, man. They might have to go back to being 2 months instead of 1.
Yeah.
But 24 wars, I mean, that's enough for the top 50 to fight, right? Or break it down into not just top 50, because of course Alliance Wars affects everybody that plays the game, but just have those types of tiers and brackets and stuff set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be like too exact. It's just right now it could be evened out a little bit more for the alliances who, because I mean, some seasons you could have a really bad war or a really bad season, and some seasons you could have a really good one depending on who you face. But I like that you don't necessarily know who you're going up against. So each season, you know, you really could see a big change if you get a couple of luckier, more favorable matchups. You could see yourself going higher on the rankings, where if it was exact, like, okay, you play, you know, X amount of master level alliances, X amount of alliances lower than you or something like that, then yeah, you're gonna end up in a pretty similar spot every time. So I do like having some variance there, but it could just be evened out a little bit more, and they could take away that stress of, what if we don't match 3 wars this week? Like, we're
that was
screwed,
terrible
you know?
in season 3 or whatever.
And then it happened to Cade's Alliance.
It happened to the Scrolls.
Happened to Scrolls. It happened to Panama Pete's Alliance, not last season, but like the season before.
No, it happened on last season too.
Oh, last season too?
Yeah.
Damn. I know it happened to Idolist before. Like, it happened. And these guys, like, the thing, like, originally was, you know, like, there was a couple of super, super high rated alliance, like MXIV, and yeah, like, the matchmaking just wouldn't connect them to another alliance, I guess. But like, these other alliances, not saying it in a bad way, but they're not, like, they're high rated, but they're not astronomically higher rated than anyone else that they wouldn't find a match. Like, they should have found a match and they just didn't.
Some people are suggesting a system where you drop your lowest war in case you have something like this, as an easy fix in case, you know, matchmaking makes you miss a war. So basically only 11 of the wars get counted.
It's not a bad idea.
It'd be a quick fix, at least, you know, until they figure out something else. But
yeah, I mean, it could be. There's some negatives to that too, but
yeah, true. Because a lot of the alliances at the very, very top, who have been trying to avoid everybody, maybe they get unlucky one of the wars and they end up matching somebody decent, so they'd be able to drop that one.
And then you could just, I think it'd be easier for people to say, okay, we're just not going to play this war, and we're just going to leave up 50 defenders, you know,
true. Yeah.
Since it doesn't count anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's ways to abuse it too.
Yeah, that's it's crazy because there's no one perfect system, you know. It's tough to.
Yeah, this stuff's tough. Like, even going back to, like, you know, Kabam's pillars here that they talk about, where they want to keep Alliance Wars dynamic, encourage counterplay, and keep the mode flexible. Like, it's pretty tough, man. Like, if you think about what Alliance Wars is, it's 30 on 30, 10 on 10 at, like, the, you know, on the battle group level. But, you know, keeping it flexible and keeping wars dynamic. I mean, how much do you really want to experiment with other champions that are not known to be, like, the best when you have 29 other people to rely on you? If you're in like other games where, you know, maybe there's like 2 or 3 people to a team, you could all agree, like, all right, you know what, we might lose some matches here, but let's experiment, let's try out some new strategies, that type of thing. Alliance Wars, you know, you can't really do that. Like, even in the off season, it's not as easy to do that. Not everybody's you know, placing, like, their top defenders at all times, or if you're not using items, maybe your path isn't going to get cleared, so you can't really experiment. And plus, I mean, they talk about counterplay, but how do you have counterplay when, like, like there's so many people involved, and it's over such a long period of time, and it's not like something could happen mid-match. Like they can't do that. Otherwise, it's just whoever. Like imagine if they had a global node that activated as you got partway through the map, and like it made your defender stronger or something like that. You can't do that because then it's just whoever gets to that first.
Yeah.
If you got like an international alliance that is sleeping when war starts, they're just screwed.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's actually pretty tough to design alliance wars and have it be what they want it to be, I think, and keep things more dynamic, like they're saying.
Yeah, I like this change. I like the direction they're going, and I think it's a creative way to kind of, I don't know, keep making it interesting. And
yeah, I think it's good overall.
yeah, and I think there's a lot of, especially when they open it up to, I think it's I like the strategic plays. So when they start opening it up to where you're choosing your global defensive node and stuff, I don't know, that's gonna make it interesting.
Yeah. Demiok, do not pop open that featured Grandmaster Crystal, man. Says within the next 5 minutes, if you don't explicitly tell me not to open a featured GMC, I'm going to do it. Well, I told you not to, and of course, Last Zarnian is saying just do it. No, Last Zarnian, don't encourage him.
You don't want to get a 5-star Emma?
He's not going to get a 5-star Emma. Don't listen to Dreamin'.
Yeah, don't even. Demi,
I haven't opened a featured GMC in a little bit. I'm proud of myself.
That's good.
Dude, I think you did it like 2 weeks ago on stream. You were like, well, let me just do one.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's funny. Dude, I love these combos, and it's awesome. Like anytime I like tune into your stream and like B-Manny's on, I'm like, I don't know. It's got like good insight and all that, so I love all that stuff. I know the chat was joking about it, but I get self-conscious about maybe like talking too much or monopolizing the conversation when I'm doing that. But I do love these. I think they're awesome.
It's fun.
But you just looked like we were holding you hostage or something, so I want to make sure that you're having fun.
Yeah, I was just playing along because they were telling me to like blink twice if I needed help or something. So I wanted to make sure I blinked twice, you know.
Sorry, man. I get on a a little tangent if the thought train gets rolling, and I gotta.
Awesome, I love it. I think it's great combo.
Well, Battleship's saying stop sucking up. Yeah.
Yeah, Kate, I think you're pretty safe in the alliance. You can calm down.
No, dude.
No, that prestige.
I always
the prestige.
His potion gift, his gift of potions came through, so it's fine.
Okay.
Ah, you need potions.
Not anymore. I got 20.
I don't
Doesn't last
think I
long,
ever fell
though,
below
man.
20 this season.
Doesn't last long.
Dude, I love how we switched gears like mid-season. We're like, Draymond's got whatever too many potions in stock. Let's put him on some real paths.
I never got put on a real path. I was always on the outside.
You're on 9 once. I don't know. That's real. It's more real than 1. But,
Yeah, real 1. Yeah, if you've got a couple of like the right champs to bring forward, you're good.
yeah.
No problem.
But anyway, it felt good to all of us. I think I think I speak for everybody in the alliance when I say it felt really good to see Draymond's stores dwindle.
Yeah, I still finished the season with over 20 potions. I'm okay.
No, I know. Draymond's funny because he plays into it. He's like, oh my gosh, I've only got 5 invulnerability boosts. I don't have any in overflow. We're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I hate when there's less than 5. It pisses me off.
Up until this season, I only spent my glory on tier 2 alphas. So and now I've just been spending it on potions since we get tier 2 alphas so fast.
Yeah, it's not worth buying them anymore.
I feel like it's easier to keep glory around now.
Big time.
Like how the map 6 crystals are paying out. Like it just seems like the T2A, unless they buff the T2A that you get from glory, like it just seems useless. Yeah.
Oh, before the new AQ roll around, basically on payday, you get your rewards. My glory was gone.
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 minutes later for the next 10 days.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure.
Do you think there's a lot of alliances who are buying out all 10 tier 4 basics? I don't even know if that's possible to afford, but like getting as many as you possibly can and then just selling them.
Yeah, oh yeah. I am on the verge of that, BG.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing when I thought we were going to be Plat 1, is I started saving basics.
I did
enough.
too. I had 4 in overflow.
Yeah, I still have some in overflow. I have like 15 alphas in overflow because I couldn't rank up anyone, and they just, you get way more alphas than you get basics.
No one had less faith in us than Dreaming, is what he's trying to say.
Hey man, better be prepared than not prepared.
I guess.
Oh yeah, I was like, yeah, because the difference in rewards was what, 5,000 basics.
Yeah, and that's basically what the difference was. That's what I needed.
So that's what I was calculating too. I was like, I'm just gonna save these, man. If we fall a little short, I'm gonna need a couple thousand here.
Exactly, just in case.
Yep. I think I'm done ranking. Like, I mean, yeah, having rank 2s, all rank 2 5-stars for arena would be cool. I can still chuck in a 125, 2 of them with a rank 2 champ or with a rank 3 champ, and get by just fine. If I really want to run my whole roster, which I don't do all the time anyway. So yeah, right now I'm in basically save my tier 4 basics to sell them or rank up a rank 5 champ.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do you have 4 rank 5s yet, B-Manny?
No, I should after this Alliance quest.
Okay, that's
I've
my
got
goal too.
5 tier 2 alphas and 19,000 fragments.
I don't think I have that much.
I didn't get any today, so.
You're never gonna get it when you actually like really need it.
Dude, I've been on average. It's been like 500 to 2,000, upwards of 3,000 a day. Sometimes.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Brian and I we'll get there too.
Dude, I just can't believe I didn't take more advantage of that stupid wheel at Comic-Con. Could have had a tier 2 alpha. Could have had those 2,500 units.
You didn't even spin until you got the tier 2 alpha?
No, man. I got the iPad, which is fantastic, but
That is good, yeah.
I got like nothing else of actual value.
See,
You want to send me the iPad?
What's crazy is like those 2,500 units. Like it takes a long time to get those when you're just grinding arena. Like
I was surprised you were so like nonchalant about it. I was like, dude, it's 2,500 free units.
This is my 3rd year in a row not getting them, man.
That's crazy.
Well, you said you spun 8 times, right?
Yeah, I spun. So, I think I spun the wheel. I think like 6 times myself, and then Laura got like 4 spins or something like that, and she actually got the units. So yeah, one of us.
How many
got
times
units.
could you have spun it? Like, did you know people that spun it more times than 6?
Yeah. The only limit was you can spin it 4 times, and then if you have more tickets, you just got to get back in line. This way, you're not holding up the line forever. But you could spin it as many times as you want. There's people there that had an entire deck of little cards that had codes on them to get 5-star crystals and units and tier 2 alphas. It was limit 1. It's limit 1 per account though. So you just be like giving them to your alliance mates or
you put them because that's what I was thinking initially. I got units 3 times, then traded 1 for a 5-star crystal, traded 1 for a T2A because people get that double, So it's a good bargaining chip. But then I was like, man, I should have gone more because you get units, you put them on like your alt, then just gift yourself energy or whatever, it's a great deal. Like if they're just giving them away,
Or I think you could also trade them. Here's this 2,500 units. Cover my donations for a bit.
Yep, true. So yeah, it was. I mean, the fact that they would just allow you to do it as many times as possible, I was like, no way. But.
Okay.
Although the iPad, that's the thing. Like for a free-to-play player, I feel like it's not as because like all of us were like, oh, there's an iPad there. We could sell that for 5 Odins.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I'm telling you. So the amount of hours, like I was doing the math. 2,500 units. That's like a good week and a half of grinding arena, of like hitting all the milestones.
Mm-hmm.
But just doing the math of like how many hours I actually spend, like. I don't know, man. Those 2,500 units.
What would that break down to, man? You'd be making like what, Less than probably like $1, $2 an hour or something.
No, it's not that bad.
Oh.
But no, it would take
Get in there and fight
me.
Floyd.
I need the energy. Just chill out. Crap. How many hours does it take to get that? I don't know. Something like, like 25 hours or something like that. So yeah, like could have just you don't have to make that much an hour, especially.
So
Like
You
here,
can't
it's
make
like $15
$150
an hour minimum or something like that. It's like
so
minimum
that's like
wage to get
3
that.
hours. No. Right? You said 25 hours to get basically like $70 worth of units. It's like $3 an hour.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about like the iPad versus the 2,500 units. I'm not
Oh,
doing it
yeah,
that
yeah.
way, you know.
Right. Okay, I got
Like,
you.
yeah. All right. My Gwenpool is super low in HP here. I'm probably gonna die, guys, but I'm gonna try my best. I took the first void this fight, so.
Nice. Dude, I'm pumped. I just want to hear the no. That's what I'm most excited for.
Dude, 11% health does not go very far in this fight.
Yeah.
Unless you're me.
Ooh, I missed the missile. That's what I want to see. I want to see.
He's actually gaining health. I see him at 12%.
No, God, no. I'm dead. I'm so dead.
Are you? Did you
Yep.
do it?
Yeah, I got the debuff on me. I went in just a hair too early. So stupid. So stupid. The debuff, I timed it wrong. I was like, yeah, that timer it's going fast enough. I could punish this special too. I could not punish the special too. Damn it. I'm going back in.
Hey, Jerry, nice.
Unless
Alright,
Reed dies 10 seconds later, yeah.
Well, it's 3:16 a.m. here, fellas. I'm gonna hop off. I appreciate you having me on and let me dominate there for the conversation for a little bit. Hijack your stream.
Thanks for hopping on, dude.
I always like talking about this stuff. Maybe we should do it like on our own personal time when there's not record something maybe whenever all these people here that came to watch you and talk to you.
They see my
are
bald
around.
head every night.
That's true. That's true. Screw them, right? Like you said in line chat earlier.
yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Can't
But
speak for the whole chat, but I know, like, of all the guests, I always, way before I joined the Alliance, I was always pumped when B-Manny was on. So I think it's always good insights.
I appreciate that, brother.
we got to still do like the top 50 defender thing one of these days.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea next week once they're released. Once we know what we're going to be looking at for, that could be a series thing too, man. Where you could have different people. Oh, sorry, man. I know you're like focusing right now.
No, keep going.
Oh, good, you're dead. Where you have a rotating, they're rotating the buffs, and you're rotating your season videos for what your thoughts are for upcoming season, what you think is going to work on offense, what you think is going to work on defense, a little bit of node placement talk, and it can just be a part of a series that goes on as they redo them every 4 weeks.
Yeah. That's a good idea, actually. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, it is. The top defenders, they're definitely going to change with these nodes. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, because right now, Archangel, you don't want to use him for next 6 weeks.
Definitely not.
But then the 4 weeks after that, it's like, who's the champ that you're really not going to want to use? Who maybe you want to, think about rekindling or bringing back in, etc. So yeah, we can go a bunch of different routes with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at you intercepting.
I know.
Like a god.
Proud.
Can't leave now.
I don't see how it's done. I just want to see how it's done with Gwenpool. I did it with a 550 Gwenpool one time. Just
550.
once.
Jesus.
Yeah, took a while, man.
You didn't time out?
Had to count combos. No, our bleeds are pretty significant even as a 550. I mean, you got to figure his is only 1 rank higher, so it's only going to do like 20% more damage.
I don't have deep wounds either, so.
Yeah.
It's funny how Blade spoils you for this, because yeah, I feel like with Blade, like you just go, you know, like
as fast as I can.
Yeah, counting combos actually like hurts you a little bit because you're like, no, just get that damage in.
My thing with
Because you
Blade
can
is
start off the debuffs anyway.
yeah, I aim for 20.
Sorry, go ahead.
I aim for 20 hits with an SP2 to knock his first debuff off, and then after that, dude, you're just pouring it on as hard as fast as you can. So
Yeah.
well, it's only like 60 to 70 hits, so
Yeah, it's not so quick it goes. It gets like right above 25%. You got an SP2 loaded. You're like done.
yeah, come on in, son. Come on in. And you know what's messed up too is like every once in a while I'll accidentally parry him unblockable, and he will get parried.
And it works out. Yeah, I never even thought about that. I mean, I should have, but I was just like, people were like, "Oh, did you get the unblockable?" I'm like, dude, I don't ever look. Like, I'm always just afraid, like, let him touch me under 25%. But I guess, yeah, that is nice when it doesn't actually, like, he
Screw you
doesn't
guys.
blockable. Yeah.
Just fight every night.
Yeah,
In a way.
you just don't even mean to, and you're like, oh sweet, like I'm gonna be able to finish him off now.
Yeah. Yep.
Or his debuff doesn't stick. Those are the nice ones. That's why you don't really worry about it, because they don't stick on you. Oh, being all passive.
Oh, please. No, oh my god.
Dude. Oh, dude.
You're looking good here. Yeah. Oh wow. 15k crit.
Oh.
What you know, the worst thing about Void is when you leave him like this, you don't want to leave him for somebody else. So you
Yeah.
always feel obligated, like I do anyway. It's like, all right, I couldn't finish him. I'm gonna jump back in here. I'm gonna item out, trying to take this guy down.
I mean, I was just gonna leave it for somebody else, but now that you said that on stream, all right, go back in, guys. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mo battle chips. Let him finish it. I don't think it's gonna happen this attempt, but maybe next attempt.
20%. He should clean it up in 4 or 5 more.
Oh, 3%. Go, baby, go.
Oh, he did it.
Ooh, nice, dude. I'm a little behind you guys.
I'm at 15 hit combo.
He's not dead yet.
Yeah, I'm also at
All right, there we
15.
go. Whoo, baby.
Okay. All right. What do we got? SP2. Rinsed
Oh,
him.
dang.
Nice, dude.
Nice recovery in there.
Yeah.
First try.
Dude, that looks
biggie.
stressful if you do that every night.
Yeah.
Well, normally what happens is I go in and die once, and then Mo Battle Chips or Doobs, they finish it, you know. I don't actually do that every night.
Okay.
That was impressive. That was like a 5-shot beach.
Why don't you just bring in your 4-star blade?
That
Big
fight's
group blade.
brutal, dude. It's like 120, 130 hits.
It
at
is. Yeah. Once
least.
in a while, I have to take it with my 550, and it is. Yeah. Cool. Friends.
Nope, I refuse.
Yeah.
We get those
Right.
revives for free, though, so it doesn't even matter. I do that every once in a while where I'll just plow through a bunch of revives.
Burn through your overflow or something.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, hey, have a great weekend, man. I'll try to catch you tomorrow evening. Fellas, take care. Dreaming, Cade, chat.
Great talking. Yeah.
All
Have a
right.
good night, man.
All right, peace out, fellas.
Night, dude.
Bye.
Well, this is like when Euthanitis first came back and kept dying fighting MODOK in war, and he just gave up. Damn, Lasarnian talking. Wait, is Euthanitis in here?
I didn't see
I haven't seen him.
I was hoping he was in here to hear that.
him.
Damn it.
Man.
You do have Voluntaris in here.
Dude, I saw that. Voluntaris. What are you doing up at this hour?
I know.
J-Dam was in my stream earlier briefly.
Dude, J-Dam, I haven't seen that guy in a long time.
Yeah. It's good. I tried to come back to 4 Loki.
20% boost? So
Whoa.
he's still playing?
Yeah, well, he said his MCOC days are numbered, so it sounds like he's kind of retiring. But
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I thought too.
I want both JDam and Vol to come back because I never got to play with those guys.
Yes, Amir, it's me.
I almost think I'd rather use AA against Void because the neurotoxins just melt him so fast that you can get back away when he's unblockable and he dies usually. Maybe, I don't know. Dubes has used AA against against Void a lot, and it doesn't seem like it's that easy either.
Yeah, Dubes was saying the limber makes it weird.
Yeah.
Quick.
Okay, Demiak, I'll pop in 10. Wait, you popping 10 GMCs right now? Demiak, what did you convince last Arnie to do?
Mo Battle Chips is trying to bait me. I want Ash to come back. He can do all the buffs. Dude, don't even get my heart fluttering.
There we
Who is
go,
that?
man.
Ash?
Is that the one that I hear about that did like the noted fights modding and stuff?
Come on.
Yeah, that was before the big modding ban wave, and I mean we kicked him before that happened anyway. We kicked him as soon as we found out, like, oh, that's what you're doing? Okay.
The Fist King.
Some people called it right away, but you know, you give people the benefit of the doubt until you realize they just took a bleed node without a bleed immune champion and come out with a full yellow bar. So
Dude, he had me fooled still. I still believed him just because like Youth was like, this guy's a great boss killer, and I was like, well, we watch this on stream. Like, I gotta learn some stuff. And then I don't know, he just kept me like I still believed him. I'm probably too trusting. Through his stories about his brother selling his champs,
yeah.
through it all, I was with him.
Yeah. I was too, man. You wanted to believe because he seemed like a good guy, you know.
Yep.
When's your next Alliance War video? So Alliance War, here's what I'm doing for the season. I'm just gonna upload my deaths. I died twice, and I'm gonna go ahead and upload both of those, and just talk about them, slow them down, you know, really go into detail about what happened there each time. And I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. I know people want to see Alliance War fights, and I want to keep uploading them. I really do. Like, especially with like the global nodes going to be changing Alliance Wars. Like, it's going to be more interesting for like video wise. Not necessarily this next season because neither of these nodes affect me at all. But I'm sure there's going to be times where like Void is no longer going to be usable, or Stark Spidey or something like that, or just the defenders are going to be different. So like it'll be that much more exciting. But I just need to get this imaginary website to not be imaginary anymore.
Yeah. By the way, advanced power boost in the store, B-Manny just said.
Yeah, somebody else was saying that too. I picked it up while you guys were talking about something. I don't even know what you guys are talking about, but I picked that up.
Don't worry, Kate. I'm already at 5 out of 5, so I can't even buy one.
Wow. That was a 0 out of 5, so I picked one up.
0.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Dude, I'm an over booster, but I don't care. I'd rather be over prepped than, you know,
Than dead.
suffer for 2 hours over a death. Like, just feel completely unworthwhile.
Yeah.
Ooh, when do you open that basic?
I was considering it, but you know what? I'm like 4 sig levels away from maxing out Stark Spidey, and if I pulled Stark Spidey, I would
open it.
cry so like no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna hold on to it. You know what? Actually, I really want to get Ghost too, and she's not in the crystals. And with my streak of like, oh, this champion got added, let me pop open a crystal. I want to wait for that.
Yeah.
I really
When
want
does she
Ghost.
get added?
November, I think.
November.
I don't know when. And Hobbit, yeah, if Hobbit's streaming, we could do a little Hobbit raid. We could join the Hobbit hole. It's clean, right?
Whatever.
Is he on?
I don't know. Look, I can look.
Give me a sec, I'll
Oh,
grab
he
the
is.
link.
Yeah. He is.
Oh, nice.
Oh, guys, there's 14 people in there. If we could change that to like 140 people, he'll go nuts. Ask him about what happened to his legs. Because that story, like, it's heartbreaking, but it's also riveting at the same time. Like, you'll be on the edge of your seat. So I'm gonna give a link to Hobbit Crom.
Do you have any 6-stone crystals?
No, I don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I pop those things every day, or as soon as I get them, at least. I have to do the.
Labs today.
Yeah, I have to do the labs, but
You can't get 4 from there.
yeah, exactly. But all right, let's go raid. Let's go raid Hobbit, guys. Super Dirty Pickle. I don't know if you're still in here, but thank you so much, dude, for the very generous $35. And there was other people that sent over some donations as well. So thank you very much, guys. I'm sorry if this was a bad night for people who wanted to talk a bit more. I'll tell you what. We'll do a daytime stream to make up for it. If you guys will be around for that, we could talk during the daytime. I don't know exactly what time, but we'll do that tomorrow at I don't know, maybe around like 1 p.m. ish, 1:30, 2, something like that, which is a little over 12 hours from right now. You know, Pacific time for all these. Okay, to be on a daytime stream, because if not, I'm out. Wow.
Chat making inappropriate comments as always.
You're gonna do a daytime stream anyway? Yeah. Thanks a lot, Dubes. I was trying to really sell this one.
He pulled something like that on me too in Cade's stream. When I was trying to use the inside information to guess the stream time, and then you, of course, no-showed anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, well, blame Lola, man. That damn dog won't poop for me lately. It's
You said
walking around
walk.
out there.
You didn't say she needed to poop. I would have changed my guess.
Well, that's what I'm doing when I'm walking her. So yeah. But all right, let's go to Hobbits. Let's hit up the Hobbit hole, guys. I'll be back. I'll be back during the daytime, and tomorrow night, of course. You know, these guys. I love having these guys on. But tomorrow night, it'll just be me. Oh,
We're banned, right?
Yeah. But Dreamin', Cade, and B Manny, who's no longer with us. Thank you guys for hopping on. It was fun talking about this stuff.
Dude, it was fun, yeah.
Yep.
It's better than if I just say my opinion on it. This way we get at least a few. It would be maybe next time we should. I thought about it last minute, so I only put it out in the Alliance chat. Maybe next time we should get people from a few different tiers of Alliance War just to get a more varied opinion.
Yeah.
But we all think pretty similar.
Yeah, that is a bad thing. And actually, I guess none of us use Blade at this point, so.
That's true. I haven't brought Blade in like 2 seasons or 3 seasons.
A couple wars this season. There were a few where I thought he was the best option, but yeah, very little.
Yeah. But all right, Hobbit, 2 Hobbit. Let's see if we can get like 140 people in there, even if you don't stay, because I know it's late. Just go say what's up and ask him what happened to his legs and hear that story. Good night, everybody. And now we have the awkward silence on Skype for a little bit.
Bye.
You guys have any last words?
Bye. Thanks for having us on.
Yep. That was fun.
You're gonna have to keep going. I'm still on.